بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله وكفى، والصلاة والسلام على سيد الحبيب المصطفى وعلى آله وصحبه نجوم الهدى خالد التقى. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. صدق الله العظيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Alhamdulillah, how fortunate are we that we were able to start this gathering by sending durood and salam upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We were able to sweeten our mouths and make our lives munawwar by the mention of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and by sending durood and salam upon the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. A means of getting close to our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, a means of being close to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam on the day of judgment, a nur into our lives. These are all from the many barakat and blessings of sending durood upon the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Every moment in our lives, when we are sat idle, when we are set free, then at that moment straight away, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallayta ala Ibrahim wa ala Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. This should be something in our hearts. Every time we are free, we're driving the car, we're coming back from somewhere, we're walking, we're not doing anything, then just start sending durood upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we will witness the barakat of that durood in our lives, guaranteed. We will see how much blessings Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put in our lives by sending durood upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a matter of us becoming active. When a person realizes the benefit of something, when a person realizes how important something is, then he will make an effort towards it. He will make an effort towards learning about it. He will make an effort researching it, giving his time. And we have examples throughout Islamic history, throughout the lives of the ulama and the scholars who gave so much in order to learn the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah, there is one famous imam called Abu Abdul Rahman Baqi ibn Makhlad, rahimahullah, a famous alim from Andalus, from Spain. He found out about the status of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, rahimahullah. Between him and the great Imam. The Imam was in Baghdad and he was in Spain. What does he do? He has this thirst for knowledge, something that is making him beqarar. It's making him think, how can I get this knowledge? Something that we take as lightly. We are able to get so much knowledge so quick, readily available, and still we do not make time in order to come to these gatherings. How many gatherings take place in the Masjid? From Quran tafsir that takes place, to durus of the Quran, to the seerah programs, to many, many different programs. And even though all these things are available at the touch of a button, coming to the masjid, giving our time, but still we do not avail of the opportunity. There are many that do, but majority of us, unfortunately, we do not give the qadr as we ought to give the qadr. When it comes to many different secular subjects, it will take thousands of pounds of hours, but in our hearts and minds, I'm not talking about everyone, I'm talking about us as a community, us as an ummah, we do not give the qadr to these events and programs as we ought to give qadr. So this famous Imam realized that I need to get to Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahimahullah by foot. He makes a journey of 3,000 miles to go and learn the hadith. The blessed hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Along the way, due to difficulties, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal had been banned from delivering the hadith, from delivering the lessons of hadith. Again, every single alim, every single scholar has got a whole story behind him of sacrifice. This path of knowledge is not the path of everyone. This is the path of the Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam. They all went through difficulties. If every alim, every imam, every scholar starts telling you about their journey, we look at the nihaya, we don't look at the bidayah. Bidayah is the beginning, nihaya is the end. When we look at the lives from the beginning of how much sacrifice that they put in order to learn the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then a person will realize that they had every single story. There is, subhanallah, blood, sweat and tears for him to get to that end point. So Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahimahullah, the famous Imam, was stopped from his public service, and people were not allowed to go and learn from him. Now this Baqi ibn Makhlad rahimahullah, the famous Imam, he makes his way over, and then he finds out that he has been banned from teaching, but his heart cannot take, I've made this journey, I want to learn hadith from Imam Ahmad rahimahullah. So then he goes to him and he goes, look, this is not possible for me. Even though I see your zawq and shawq, I see your passion, your desire to learn the hadith, but I cannot do it at this time. So he said, every single day, as I come to your door to get something, just narrate one hadith to me. Subhanallah. For a long period of time, this is what he would do every day. He would go dressed as a beggar to his house, and one, two hadith, he would hear from the famous Imam. After that, subhanallah, when Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, when his services were now allowed to start again, he would mention the story of this famous Imam. And when he became ill, Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, the famous Imam, he personally went to visit Baqi ibn Makhlad. So the lives of the ulama, the lives of the sulaha, the muhaddithun, the mufassirun are full of making effort for deen. If we are not willing to make the effort for deen and studying our deen, then we will have no one to blame but ourselves. طلب العلم فريضة. To seek knowledge, it is a fard. It is necessary for us to seek knowledge. To know what is halal, what is haram, what is right, what is wrong, what is wajib, what is sunnah. In any given situation in my life, I'm in a situation in my life, I need to know what to do in that situation. And if I don't, then I need to know who I can turn to. Because this ilm is your deen. So you need to see who you are taking your deen from. So we need to be individuals who will take time out to study our deen. Subhanallah, as our respected Imam mentioned last week in regards to the virtues of Sha'ban, spoke in much detail about the blessings of this month and also making preparation for Ramadan. And we will continue with that very same topic of making preparation for Ramadan. We need to get into a habit from now. If we get into a habit of anything, a person, we've said this so many times, a person who fails to plan, he plans to fail. If you do not plan, you do not make an effort to plan, then you will still go through the motions like everyone else, but you will not get the end result. Like those same children who in their education, they will go through the 5 years. But the difference between those and the one really interested, then there will be a big difference. In the same way, we have this blessed month of Ramadan around the corner. A beautiful month, a month of mercy, a month of rahmah. أوله مغفرة وأوله رحمة. The first 10 days are the rahmah. Second 10 days are maghfirah. وآخره عتق من النار. And the last 10 days are emancipation and freedom from the fire of hell. It's a month where the nawafil become fara'id, and the fara'id, and they get the reward of 70 fara'id. It is a month of brotherhood. It is a month of taqwa. It is a month of sabr. It is a month of as a person bringing discipline into his life. That if you can stay away from halal for 30 days, then how can you not stay away from haram? It's a month that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not need to take our food away from us. If a person is not staying away from haram, then there is no need for a person to stay away from all of these other things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentions that كَمْ مِنْ صَائِمٍ لَيْسَ لَهُ مِنْ صِيَامِهِ إِلَّا الْجُوعِ. How many people are there who fast and they get nothing from fasting apart from hunger? How many people who stay awake in Taraweeh and Qiyamul Layl who get nothing from that apart from staying awake in sleepless nights? If our intention is not clean and clear right from now, doesn't matter what amal we are doing. If our intention is not clean, if our intention is not correct, then our amal, our action could be very, very high, but it could be of no use, and the opposite effect, it could be a means of punishment. And if our intention is good, then we can save ourselves from Jahannam. Ittaqun nar walau bishiqqi tamra. Stay away and protect yourself from Jahannam, even if it's a piece of a date. Not even the full date. Even if it's a piece of date, keep yourselves away and protect yourself from Jahannam, even if it's a piece of date. And on the opposite hand, we hear the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that 3 people will be brought in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the nearest meaning. One will be a scholar, one will be a generous man who gave lots in the way of Allah, and the third will be a mujahid who went out in the way of Allah and gave his life for the sake of Allah and gave his life. But then when it asked of these 3 people, what did you do? The scholar will say, I took time out to learn your deen. The generous person will say, I spent day and night. The mujahid will say that I gave my life in your way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say to them, you're a liar. You became a scholar, so people will call you a scholar. And that is why when people call you a scholar, you've got nothing down here, the person will be thrown into Jahannam. The second person will be the generous person. What did you do? You never did this for my name. You did this so people will call you Sakhi. People will call you generous. Guess what? People call you generous. You've not done it for me, and the person will be thrown into the fire with him. The third person will have given his life. You never did it for me. You did it so people will call you brave. People called you brave. After you left this world, people called you brave. Did you see how he was fighting in the way? You never did it for me. Intention is very, very important. Doesn't matter how big or small the action is, we do it only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is coming. We need to get ourselves used to how I can make the most from this month. How I can make the most from this month. There are seasons, there are times for everybody. There will be businesses. If you look at it as a business, you'll have individuals who know during the Christmas period, I can make a lot of money. They have this in their mind as a businessman. During the Christmas period, I can make a lot of money. So what they do is they will plan. They will say, okay, during this time, I know I can sell these products and they will sell a lot. So he will get everything stocked up beforehand. He knows, that's why we have people taking on Christmas temporary positions. They know that I'm going to have a lot more demand during this month. I will hire an extra 100 people as staff members during this time. They will plan meticulously, and guess what? After all their planning, during that time of that period, they will be very, very successful because they will have put all the strategies in place. And at the end of that period of time, they will succeed, and that is financially. In the same way, if we make a plan that the month of Ramadan is going to come, I need to get as much as I can from the blessed month of Ramadan. I'm going to pray my salah, inshallah. I'm going to pray my salah. However, I have heard a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that if you pray your salah with jama'ah, you'll get the reward 27 times more reward. So a person should think that, okay, if I'm going to get 27 times more reward, it doesn't take much common sense for a person to realize if we are working in the house and we're getting 10 pounds an hour within the house, and somebody says to us, right, you're getting 10 pounds at home, I know you can wake up at any time, I know you can even work with your pajamas on, I know you can do anything whilst you're working in that way. However, I've got an opportunity for you. If you go 5 minutes down the road, and that 5 minutes down the road, you're going to do the same thing. I'm not going to take any extra work from you at all. The place is going to be amazing, beautiful, you'll get all the facilities down there. However, guess what? I'm going to give you 270 pounds. There will be nobody down here at all, impossible, who will say, nah, I'm okay. I'm alright, in my pajamas down here and doing my work from home. 10 pounds an hour is enough for me. You're saying 270 pounds an hour, I'm okay with that. No one at all, even if you say to the person, 1 hour away, everyone will be like, 1 hour away, no problem. You tell me to do a few extra hours, overtime as well. I'll do overtime as well. I'll sacrifice my sleep as well if I need to. I'll sacrifice my family if I need to. I will tell the family from home from before that, look, it's a time where I'm going to be making lots and lots of money. It's going to be benefiting you. You guys just be quiet. At home, you guys stay 10 hours, I can make 2,700 pounds. Even the family will be like, excellent. Don't worry, leave it all for me. I'll do everything in the house. I'll look after absolutely everything. Even if there's other families to look after, I'll look after them as well. If you're bringing 2,700 pounds, and this is our mindset when it comes to the dunya. The deen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, pray one salah, and you get the reward of 27 times. But then we're like, oh, salah time, guess what? Football's going on. Lads, come on, just quickly pray at home. We'll pray it a bit later on. We still have until 3:14 is Asr beginning time. The game's going to finish about 2:59. We'll quickly pray at 3. Oh, there's only 5 minutes left. Quickly pray, everyone quickly do all. Let's quickly pray our salah. And that's if we get the tawfiq even to pray that salah. But our mindset needs to change. We have the month of Ramadan coming. Try to get everything in place. Get your plan ready for your dhikr. Get our plans ready for our Quran. Get our plans ready for our salah. Get ourselves used to this. And inshallah, if we do this, then even if we don't make it to the month of Ramadan, don't worry. Even if we don't, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us that reward, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive us. I was just mentioning about one individual last week, age about 73. He passed away last week, just before Jummah. And he was diagnosed with cancer. And he knew that this is going to be my last moments in my life. I want to start my hifz. At that age, I want to start my hifz. Because if I pass away, once I've started my hifz, even if I start, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, but my intention was to do hifz, I pass away, I will be resurrected with the hufaz. So you'd expect at that point, what is he going to do? He's going to learn one or two verses. SubhanAllah, in 7 months, he learned approximately 17 juz of the Quran. 73 years old, 17 juz of the Quran, even though he knew he is possibly going to pass away at any time. And subhanAllah, he passed away, he left this dunya. But look at the maqam that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him. If he wanted to, he could have said, even if he did 1-2 pages, people would be like, subhanAllah. But even at that point, a person should not think, even if you know that the day of judgment is right here, and you have a seed in your hand. The hadith says, وَفِي يَدِ أَحَدِكُمْ الْفَصِيلَةِ, that you have a seed in your hand. Don't think that Qiyamah is just there, forget it, there's no point, what benefit is this? Prophet ﷺ said, put that into the ground. Don't look at what's going to happen tomorrow. You do things and you do it now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Shaitan will never ever tell you, stop praying Quran. Shaitan will never tell you, stop doing dhikr. Shaitan will never tell you, you're never going to pray salah in your life. Never tell you that. He will say, do it tomorrow. Pray Quran, but don't do it today, do it tomorrow. You are going to do it, definitely. You are going to become a hafiz of the Quran. You're going to start praying tahajjud. You're going to do this. You're going to become the biggest alim of your time. You're going to do everything, but you're going to do it tomorrow. The person will think, yes, that's right. I'm going to become that great sheikh, but I'm going to become him tomorrow. I'm going to become the hafiz, I'll become it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. 20 years will pass by and we'll be in the exact same position. If we do want to do something, we do it right now. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. requested to make the sufu for Jummah. All brothers are kindly requested to make their way forward. Jazakallahu khair. Just fill in all the gaps and make the sufu for Jummah.